When storms rise against the innocent, the universe takes notes, and storms always circle back. There's a reason why the pressure on your life has been relentless, why the lies, the slander, the betrayal kept stacking up. They didn't just attack you, they challenged the universe itself, and no one fights the universe and walks away clean. This message is for you, the one who's been carrying the weight of false stories, whispered behind your back, shouted in rooms you weren't even in. They twisted your name, stained your character, and painted you as the villain in their fragile tales. But here's the truth. They weren't fighting you. They were picking a battle with the unseen force that stands behind you, the force that chose you. And now, the weight of their lies is folding in on them. Their own circle is turning. The universe has a long memory, and it doesn't stay silent forever. Before we dive deeper, take a moment. If this message is striking something in you, if you felt that isolation, that betrayal, that constant pushback, then like this video, subscribe, and help spread this message to other chosen ones. Because every time you do, it signals to the algorithm. It tells YouTube to push this out further, to reach more souls walking this same road. And trust me, they need to hear this too. Now lean in. Let's talk about what it means to be chosen. There's a power that rests on the chosen ones. It isn't loud, it doesn't beg for attention, but it haunts those who've wronged you. It lingers in their minds at night, in the quiet moments when they think no one's watching. They feel it. That unsettling weight, like standing in the eye of a storm they can't explain. That's the presence of the universe standing with you. The people who lied on you to everyone, they weren't ready for the backlash that comes when you attack the innocent. They thought smearing your name was enough to break you, to make others turn away from you. But now, their own people, their own circle, are starting to see through the cracks. The ones they convinced are starting to whisper too, starting to question, turning their backs just like they turned on you. That's the thing about lies. They're like smoke. They can cloud the air for a moment, but the truth always clears the sky. And when that happens, the ones who lit the fire are left choking on their own smoke. You, chosen one, need to understand this. You were never fighting alone. When you started to doubt your own light, when you questioned if you were strong enough to stand against the tide, the universe was moving behind the scenes. Just because you couldn't see it didn't mean it wasn't happening. The universe moves in silence. It doesn't need to announce itself. But when it strikes back, it's undeniable. Stop doubting yourself. Stop apologizing for the light that makes others uncomfortable. Lions don't lose sleep over the opinions of sheep, and the chosen don't dim their light because it blinds the guilty. You are not here to be palatable. You are here to stand in your truth, even if it makes the whole room shift. The ones who betrayed you, they will learn that the weight of truth is heavier than any lie they ever told. Their world is shaking now. Their circle is cracking. The same mouths that spread lies about you will be the ones to expose them. The same hands that turned against you will point fingers at them. This is the power of being chosen. It's not about being perfect. It's about being aligned with something bigger, something the liars can't touch, something that haunts them when they try. They picked a fight with the universe. They picked a fight with the truth. And now, they're feeling the consequences. Stay steady. Keep shining. The shift is happening. So, are you really ready to face this truth head-on? This isn't just another message, it's a mirror. And if you're truly chosen, it's going to reflect everything you felt but couldn't explain. Drop the number 77 in the comments if you've ever felt the sting of betrayal, if you've carried the weight of lies that weren't yours to bear. This is your moment to stand taller, stronger. Stay with me, because what's coming will feel like it was written just for you. And trust me, by the end, you'll see exactly why their circle is crumbling. Let's get into it. Number 1. The scales are tipping and they can't hold back what's coming. When you dig a grave for someone standing in truth, be ready to fall into it yourself. They thought they buried you, lied on your name, dragged your spirit through the mud, twisted the truth until it barely resembled reality. But they forgot one thing. You can't bury what the universe has planted. You aren't some fragile seed tossed in shallow dirt. You're a force breaking through concrete. And now, the ground beneath them is starting to crack. You've been carrying the weight of being misunderstood, silenced, cast aside as if your voice didn't matter. Quiet battles fought behind the mask you wore, the tears you hid, the confusion that clouded your mind. You asked yourself, did I do something wrong? Why does it feel like I'm the enemy when all I did was stand in my truth? Let me tell you right now, they weren't coming for just you. They were coming for the power that chose you. They picked a fight with the universe's blueprint, with the system that keeps balance. And no one walks away from that fight untouched. But here's the twist. The scales are tipping now. The weight they tried to place on your shoulders. It's shifting back where it belongs, right onto theirs. Their lies are collapsing under their own weight, like a dam starting to buckle. Their own circle, the ones they pulled into their schemes, are starting to back away, starting to whisper, starting to question. You don't have to lift a finger. The universe is moving pieces behind the scenes. The ones who once applauded their stories are beginning to see the cracks in the mask. And you, chosen one, you doubted yourself. Let's be real. You questioned your light. You wondered if maybe you were the problem. You let their noise seep into your soul, didn't you? But here's the thing about being chosen. You don't get to quit your calling. You don't get to lay down and surrender just because it got heavy. Lions don't ask sheep for permission to roar, and you don't need validation from the very people who tried to snuff out your fire. Stop apologizing for the light you carry. You don't dim the sun because some can't handle the heat. You shine anyway. Look around. Feel that shift. The weight is lifting. Not because the battle is over, but because the universe has started tipping the scales in your favor. And those who came against you, they're about to learn what it feels like to stand against the current, to fight the tide. They played themselves when they played with you. They thought they were just smearing your name, but what they were really doing was declaring war on the universe's order. That's a fight they'll never win. Karma doesn't wear a watch, but it always shows up right on time. Their time has come. Their lies, their manipulation, their backdoor dealings, they're all coming back around. The same mouths that spoke against you will soon be too busy defending themselves. The same hands that pointed fingers at you will be holding their own heads in regret. That's what happens when you attack the innocent. The backlash isn't loud at first. It's subtle, silent. But when it hits hard. And you, chosen one, wake up. Stop sleeping on your own power. Stop doubting the path that's been carved out for you. You were never walking alone. Every step you took through that fire, the universe was walking beside you, stacking the odds in your favor even when you couldn't see it. You thought you were abandoned. You thought you were left out in the cold. But the truth, you were being positioned. You were being prepared. The power of being chosen isn't in how loud you shout or how many people stand with you. It's in the way the universe bends situations in your favor, even when it looks like you're losing. You carry something that unsettles them, something they can't manipulate, can't control, and that terrifies them. You haunt their peace. Your presence is a reminder that truth always comes for those who run from it. So let them scramble, let their circles crumble. You don't even need to explain yourself anymore. The universe is doing all the talking for you now, and when they realize they weren't fighting you, but the force that chose you, that realization will be their undoing. The weight they threw on your shoulders is now the stone tied to their own feet. Stand tall. The scales are tipping, and they can't hold back what's coming. Number 2. When the smoke clears, only the truth stands. Lies are loud, but truth walks in silent and turns the whole room upside down. They thought they won, didn't they? Thought they could twist your story, plant seeds of doubt in every ear they could find. They whispered behind closed doors, painted pictures of you with the darkest colors, made sure the crowd saw only the version of you they designed. You were the villain in their play, the one they blamed for everything while they wore the mask of innocence. But here's the thing about masks, they always slip. And when they do, the whole world sees the face beneath. The veil is lifting. No, the veil has been ripped away. The great unveiling is here, and there's no going back. For too long, confusion sat over your name like a fog. People looked at you through the lens of their lies, judged you without knowing the facts, turned their backs because it was easier to believe the noise than to search for the truth. They didn't just lie on you, they buried you under those lies, thinking you wouldn't rise again. But here's the hard truth they're choking on now. The truth never stays buried. Just like the sun doesn't ask for permission to rise, truth comes when it's ready, and when it does, no lie can stand against it. You didn't have to lift a finger. You didn't have to run around defending yourself, proving your worth, begging anyone to see your side. The universe has been working the whole time, peeling back layers, shifting the atmosphere, moving things in ways none of them could see coming. Lies travel fast, but the truth owns the road. For a while, it looked like their lies were winning. You felt it. The isolation, the second-guessing, the weight of wondering why no one saw through the fog. You stood there, watching people you trusted slip away, listening to the silence when they believed what they heard instead of asking for the truth. It felt like you were losing ground, but listen carefully. You were never losing. The universe was setting the stage. It let them believe they had the upper hand, let them think their plans were airtight, that they'd rewritten your story permanently. But that was just the setup, because now, the truth is rising like a wave they can't stop. It's rolling in, crashing through every lie they built, washing away the stories they told. And as it rises, their masks are slipping, the ones who clapped the loudest for your downfall. They're whispering now, the same circle that laughed behind your back. They're starting to see cracks in the foundation. Their house of lies is falling apart, brick by brick. And all you had to do was stand still. Don't miss this. You didn't have to argue, didn't have to explain. You stayed silent because the universe was speaking louder than words. It's been handling this in realms you couldn't see, setting things in motion that are only now coming to light. What was hidden is being dragged out into the open, and not by your hand, but by the weight of justice itself. The same mouths that lied on you will be the ones confessing when the truth pulls the rug out from under them. There's something brutal about watching people face the consequences of their own schemes. They thought they were clever, thought they were untouchable. But now, their own circle is turning. The people they convinced are backing away, questioning everything. That's how the universe works. It lets them build high, lets them get comfortable before shaking the ground beneath them. And when the ground shakes, those who built their houses on lies crumble first. And I know what you're thinking. You wonder why it took so long. Why the universe let you sit in the middle of that storm while the liars danced in the rain. Here's why. Because the longer they lied, the more rope they gave themselves. The universe was never late. It was patient. It let them expose their own character. It let them show the world exactly who they are. Now, when the truth comes, there's no escape, no denial, no way to spin it. They're standing in the spotlight with nowhere to hide. But you, chosen one, you're rising. You've been tested in ways most can't imagine. You stood in silence, carrying the weight of betrayal and misunderstanding. But all along, the universe had your back. Every tear you cried watered the roots of your breakthrough. Every moment you stayed silent, the universe was writing your vindication. Now the unveiling is here. Don't downplay what's happening. This isn't just some small shift. This is the scales tipping, the balance restoring, the order returning. And it's brutal for them. Their lies aren't just falling apart, they're turning into chains. The more they scramble, the tighter those chains get. The ones who swore they'd bury you are digging their own graves. Truth doesn't need a crowd, it only needs time. And the time is now. You, chosen one, stop doubting. Stop looking back, wondering if you could have done something different. Stop questioning if you were too much, too bold, too bright. You were exactly what you needed to be. Their discomfort was never your burden. Their lies were never your truth. You stood tall when it felt like the whole world wanted you to kneel. And that's why the universe chose you. Feel that shift. That's the power of truth breaking through. That's the weight lifting. That's justice moving from unseen spaces into the open. You're not just being restored, you're being elevated. And the same people who turned their backs will have no choice but to watch. Their circle is turning on them, and you don't have to lift a finger. That's the beauty of being aligned with the universe. It fights battles you can't see. It lifts you when they try to drag you down. So stand still. Watch the unveiling. The truth is here, and it's not playing fair. Number 3. The mask is slipping, and the face beneath can't hide anymore. A mask can fool the crowd for a while, but it suffocates the one wearing it every single day. There's something terrifying about the moment when the mask cracks, not for you, but for them, the ones who lied on you, who built their reputation by tearing yours down, the ones who spent so long performing, pretending, smiling to your face while stabbing you in the back. Their time is up. The act is falling apart, and the mask they've worn so proudly, it's slipping piece by piece. You've felt this shift coming. The energy around them has been off. Their stories don't add up like they used to. Their performance isn't hitting the same. Even the ones who clung to their lies are starting to tilt their heads, starting to question, starting to see. That's the thing about darkness. It panics when the light shows up. And chosen one, your light is blinding them now. This isn't a slow unraveling. This is a full-on collapse. The universe doesn't play gentle when it comes to justice. It's ruthless in exposing what needs to be seen. The face beneath the mask. It's not ready for the spotlight. It's cracking under the pressure. The lies they told, the stories they spun. They're choking on their own words now, trying to keep the act alive, but it's too late. The audience is starting to see through the show. Truth doesn't just expose the lie, it suffocates it. Understand this, chosen one. The mask falling isn't just about them being revealed, it's about you being restored. It's about your name, your energy, your truth rising to the surface. You've been painted as the villain for so long that even you started questioning yourself. You wondered, maybe I was too much. Maybe I should have stayed quiet. Maybe it really was me. But no more. The universe is flipping the script, and you're about to watch them scramble as the truth comes to light. The collective is shifting. Those who once believed every word they were told about you are feeling something in their gut now. Their intuition is louder than the lies. They can't shake the feeling that they missed something. They can't unsee the cracks. And it's only getting louder. The whispers are turning into questions. The blind loyalty is turning into suspicion. That's how the universe works. It opens eyes when it's time. You've waited for this moment, haven't you? You dreamed about the day they'd be exposed, that justice would hit, that people would finally see the truth. And here it is. But it's not happening in the way you expected. See, the universe clears your name in spirit first. It settles the score behind the scenes. It balances the scales in places you can't see before it moves into the natural world. You've been feeling that release, that lifting of the weight, even before the outside world caught up. That's the spiritual court working in your favor. The heaviest burden isn't the lie, it's the mask required to keep living it. And now, the natural is catching up fast. Their energy is unraveling, their words are stumbling, their stories are inconsistent. The people they once fooled are pulling back, questioning, seeing the face behind the mask. And that face, it's panicked, it's desperate. They can't hold it together anymore. The more they scramble, the more obvious it becomes. But let me speak to you, chosen one, because even now I know that doubt lingers. Even now you question whether you should feel this vindication. Own it. This is your moment. You stayed silent while they spoke. You stood still while they spun their web. And now the web is catching them. You didn't need revenge. You didn't need to clap back. The universe is doing what they never thought possible, clearing your name in a way no one can deny. Stop carrying the weight of what they did to you. Stop replaying the lies they told about you in your mind. That's not your burden anymore. The universe is making sure they carry every ounce of it now, and it's heavy. Their mask was never meant to last this long. It's cracking because the truth underneath is too ugly to hold up any longer. And the light, your light, it's burning through the last of their performance. A lie is a short sprint. The truth runs marathons. You're standing at the finish line now. You don't need to shout. You don't need to convince anyone. The unveiling is happening. The exposure is here. And the ones who turned against you, they're watching too. They're realizing they were part of the audience that applauded a lie. That's their weight to carry now. The mask is falling, and there's no saving the face beneath. Number 4. Your sacred silence was the thunder they never heard coming. They mistook your silence for surrender, not knowing it was the breeding ground of your comeback. They laughed at you behind closed doors, didn't they? Watched you stand silent while they ran your name through the dirt. They mistook your stillness for weakness, called your quiet ignorance. But they never understood the power of sacred silence. They didn't realize that while they were busy talking, plotting, twisting stories, you were evolving in the shadows. Chosen one, they underestimated you. They thought if they isolated you, if they betrayed you enough times, if they piled on the lies, it would break you, that the weight of their attacks would crush your spirit. But the joke's on them. Pressure doesn't break diamonds, it creates them. And while they were busy setting traps, mocking your every step, you were growing in ways they couldn't even imagine. You weren't crumbling, you were becoming. Silence isn't absence, it's preparation. They thought you went quiet because you had nothing left. They thought your retreat meant defeat. But what they didn't know, what they never had the depth to understand, was that your silence wasn't empty. It was sacred. It was the cocoon where your next form was taking shape. While they stayed loud and reckless, you stayed hidden, preserved, protected by the universe. That isolation. It wasn't punishment. It was preparation. The universe covered you, wrapped you up in its hands, and kept you safe from the chaos, from the noise, from their distractions. Because you weren't ready to be revealed, not yet. They thought you'd crumble, but instead, you refined. The betrayal didn't break you, it sharpened your discernment. The lies didn't crush you, they aligned you with your higher self. The isolation didn't make you weaker, it made you stronger, more focused, more aware. You've become untouchable in ways they never saw coming. They planted you thinking you were a seed they could bury, but they forgot you were a storm waiting to rise. And now they're confused, panicking, watching as the person they tried to destroy steps out of the shadows. Not broken, but reborn. You're not the same person they attacked. You're not the same soul they mocked, thinking you were too soft, too naive, too easy to manipulate. They don't know what to do with the version of you that's walking forward now. This version doesn't need revenge, doesn't need validation. This version stands tall, knowing that the universe has already handled what needed to be handled. You see, your silence wasn't just for you, it was a message to them too, a warning they didn't recognize. While they mistook your stillness for weakness, the universe was making moves, shifting the ground beneath them, lining up justice piece by piece, until the moment was right. And now that moment is here. Still waters run deep, and when they move mountains. The sacred silence you kept. It's the very thing that's haunting them now. They can't understand how you stayed quiet, how you didn't lash out, didn't crumble. They don't get how you endured the slander, the backstabbing, the isolation, and still kept your head up. That's what sacred silence does. It protects your energy, preserves your strength, and confuses your enemies. They thought they had you figured out. They thought they knew your breaking point. But you were never theirs to understand. You were always aligned with something bigger. The universe had you hidden, not because you were weak, but because you were sacred, because your growth couldn't be exposed too early. And now, as they scramble to hold onto the power they thought they had, you're walking in the strength they never saw coming. Let this be clear. You are not the same. You are sharper, wiser. Your discernment has been honed like a blade. You see through their masks now. You feel the shift before they even make a move. You are so aligned with the universe that you can no longer be manipulated by their games, and that scares them. The most dangerous person is the one who rebuilt themselves in silence. That's you, rebuilt in sacred silence, refined in isolation. While they were plotting, you were evolving. And now, you're untouchable. The power you carry isn't loud, but it's undeniable. They see it, they feel it, and they don't know what to do with it. So don't look back. Don't explain yourself. Don't break the sacred silence that got you here. Let your evolution speak. Let their confusion grow. Your presence is loud enough now. The version of you that stands here today doesn't need to shout. You don't need to prove anything to anyone. You let the storm pass, and now you are the calm that breaks them. Stay in that space. Stay rooted. Stay sacred. Because the silence they mistook for weakness was the very thing that made you unstoppable. Number 5. The backfire. They never saw coming. You're soaring while they burn. Those who set the fire forgot the phoenix always rises from the ashes. They're confused, aren't they? Scratching their heads, wide-eyed, wondering how you're still standing. How after everything they threw at you, the lies, the betrayal, the isolation, you're not just surviving, you're glowing. Walking taller, speaking clearer, radiating peace they can't even comprehend. They expected you broken, buried, but here you are, shining brighter than ever, and they can't wrap their heads around it. Here's why. You're covered by something they'll never understand. That's what's burning them up inside. You're wrapped in favor, not the kind you can buy, not the kind they can manipulate, but the kind that comes when the universe has marked you as chosen. They played with fire, thinking they'd leave you in ruins, but all they really did was stoke the flames that refined you. Favor doesn't stop the storm. It makes sure you walk through it untouched. Every time they thought they had you pinned, every time they tried to knock you down, the universe flipped the script. What they meant to harm you, it only made you stronger. The spiritual warfare they launched against you, it backfired so hard that it's shaking their own foundations now. They underestimated what it means to come against someone aligned with the universe's current. And now, that current is dragging them under while it's lifting you higher. I saw it clearly, the star beside the tower. The tower represents destruction, collapse, the tearing down of everything false. But the star, that's you, rising right out of the wreckage, glowing, healing, becoming untouchable. They tried to burn you down, but all they did was turn you into the phoenix. And now you're soaring while they're standing in the ashes of their own schemes. They're feeling the heat now. That spiritual backfire is real. Every lie they threw at you is circling back. Every snare they set is snapping shut, but on their own feet. And the more they scramble, the more they realize they can't touch you. Not anymore. You've risen above their reach. Your wings have expanded. Your flight is reclaiming territory they thought they'd stolen. When you are chosen, even destruction becomes a stepping stone. Let that settle deep into your bones. They tried to ground you, tried to keep you caged, but you are no longer grounded. You are soaring. That's the part that's haunting them. They thought if they kept you low enough, long enough, you'd forget how to fly. But the universe had other plans. And now that you've taken flight again, they can't even look you in the eye. Because every time they see you walking in peace, every time they catch a glimpse of your glow, it reminds them that they failed. That the war they waged only strengthened the very person they tried to destroy. That's divine favor. It's not loud, it's not flashy, but it cannot be stopped. It covers you in ways that defy logic, makes no sense to those who tried to break you. They're watching you from a distance now, baffled, wondering how you're still breathing, how you're thriving. And the reason they can't understand it is because favor isn't something you earn, it's something you carry. You rose from the ashes. not because they let you, but because you were built to. Their tactics backfired because they never understood the force behind you. They thought they were fighting just another person. But you were chosen. You were aligned with something bigger, something they could never touch, never manipulate. And when you're aligned like that, every attack becomes fuel. Every setback becomes a setup for your comeback. And they feel that. Oh, they feel it heavy now. The spiritual backfire is hitting hard. Their circles are crumbling. Their peace is disturbed. They're losing sleep, losing control, losing the image they worked so hard to maintain. And the more they try to fix it, the deeper they sink. That's what happens when you come against the innocent, when you attack someone covered by favor. The universe doesn't just defend you, it flips the whole situation. And you're soaring now. Don't downplay that. Don't apologize for that glow. Don't shrink because they're uncomfortable watching you rise. They wrote you off. They counted you out. But here you are, standing taller than they ever expected. Let them watch. Let them choke on their confusion. Their spiritual backfire isn't your concern anymore. You've stepped into a new realm of favor. You've reclaimed your wings. You're soaring over the rubble they left behind. And that's the ultimate backfire. Number 6. Karmic justice doesn't miss. The trap they set is now their cage. When you dig a grave for someone walking in truth, you better dig too. Let's call it what it is. They tried to steal what was never theirs. Whether it was family, friends, lovers, co-workers, or so-called spiritual leaders, they crossed lines they never should have touched. They came for what the universe wrote in your name, your blessings, your inheritance, your peace. And they thought they could get away with it. Thought that because they were close to you, because they smiled in your face, because they held some position of power, they could slip through the cracks of karma. But karmic justice doesn't miss a thing. This wasn't just some petty drama. This was deep. Some of you were betrayed by the very people who were supposed to love and protect you. Family, a parent, a sibling, someone whose role was to cover you, but instead they came for your crown. They were envious of your light, couldn't stand to see you rising while they stayed stuck. Others felt the knife in their back from lovers who swore loyalty, but worked behind the scenes to block your path. Friends who were never really friends, co-workers who smiled at you while plotting your downfall. Even people in spiritual communities, waving the banner of light, but moving in nothing but darkness. And here's the brutal truth. They didn't just talk behind your back. They plotted. Some tampered with legal documents, twisted facts, forged lies, tried to rob you in the natural realm. Others went deeper, used manipulation, divination, even dark spiritual practices, hoping to block your blessings, reroute what was meant for you. They played with energies they didn't understand, thinking they could bend the universe's will. But what's written for you cannot be erased. Let me say that again. What is divinely yours is untouchable. They could scheme, they could lie, they could send every dart in their arsenal, but the universe already stamped your name on that blessing, and no human hand can undo what's been sealed in spirit. Every stone they threw became the foundation for your rise. And now, the backfire is brutal. The very traps they set for you, they're tangled in them now. The lies they told, the deals they made in the shadows, the energy they sent your way, it's all circling back, and it's crushing them. That's karmic justice. It moves slow sometimes, but when it hits like a tidal wave. And they never saw it coming. They were so sure they had you beat, so sure they'd blocked your blessings that they'd stolen your inheritance, spiritual, financial, emotional. But karma has a way of collecting debts with interest. The universe let them build their house of cards high, let them believe they'd won. And then it pulled the ground out from under them. Touch not the chosen, the universe counts every blow. I know you've heard that saying before, but now you're seeing it in real time. Spirit says, touch not my anointed, and do my prophets no harm. They touched you anyway. They came for you, thinking there'd be no consequences. But the universe doesn't play when it comes to the chosen. It doesn't take kindly to attacks on the innocent. And what's happening now? It's the universe repaying them in full. Their blessings are blocked, their peace is disturbed. Everything they tried to steal from you is slipping through their fingers. And the worst part, they know it. They feel the shift. The same ones who smiled while plotting are now choking on their own plans. Their world is caving in, not because you cursed them, but because they cursed themselves the moment they came for you. The blessing they tried to steal will be delivered to your door, pressed down, shaken together, and running over. And you, chosen one, this is your time to rise. The inheritance they tried to intercept is still coming, stronger, bigger, unstoppable. The universe is making sure you get double for the trouble they caused. The things they delayed, they're accelerating now. The blessings they blocked, they're about to pour out so heavy you won't even remember the weight. Don't waste energy on revenge. Don't waste time explaining yourself. Let karma do the talking. Let the universe handle the weight. You're walking into a season where everything stolen is being restored, multiplied. And the ones who tried to block you, they're spectators now, forced to watch as you rise, untouched, favored, elevated beyond anything they imagined. So stand tall. Let the karmic scales balance. Let them feel the backfire. Their betrayal lit the fire, but you rose from the flames, unbothered, unstoppable, covered in favor. And the universe, it's not done yet. Number 7. The circle is turning, and the net they set is dragging them under. The snare they set for you has become the noose tightening around their own neck. Make no mistake, this is the turning point. The circle they trusted, the network they used to amplify their lies, the very people who clapped for them while they schemed against you. They're backing away now. They're watching as the trap they set tightens around their own ankles. That's not coincidence. That's karmic law in motion. That's divine backfire. I saw it so clearly. It's like a hunter walking straight into the net they strung up for someone else. They thought they were untouchable, thought their schemes would stay hidden, thought they could block your path without consequences. But the universe doesn't sleep on injustice. The circle is turning. The same people they turned against you are turning against them now. And it's hitting them where it hurts. Their health, declining. Their peace, gone. Their abundance, drying up like a well that's run empty. Not because you wished it. You never had to curse them. They cursed themselves the moment they laid hands on what wasn't theirs. Every lie they told, every trap they set, every scheme they cooked up in the dark. It's all coming back, folded with interest. Karma never rushes, but it always arrives on time, carrying receipts. Look at yourself, chosen one. You stayed aligned. You held your ground while the world spun lies around you. You stayed silent while they tried to bury your name. You didn't match their energy. You rose above it. And now, the universe is crediting your spiritual bank account. You've been stacking favor behind the scenes while they've been stacking debt. And this moment, this is your payout. Don't feel guilty about it. Don't shrink back because their world is collapsing. This is justice. This is the balance of spiritual law. You endured the storm, carried the weight, held your peace while they waged war. And now, while their circle crumbles, you're being elevated. The circle always turns. What you send out comes back around. They sowed chaos, and now they're reaping storms. They sowed division, and now they're standing alone. Their own people are questioning them, walking away, refusing to stand beside the mess they created. That's the turning of the circle. That's the universe making sure everyone sees the truth. And you're stepping into a season of restoration, elevation, overflow. They tried to rob you, but the universe is repaying you with double. Stay steady. Watch the circle turn. Let the net drag them down. You don't have to lift a hand. The universe already tipped the scales in your favor. Number 8. Guard the gate. Discernment is your greatest weapon now. Not everyone who comes with a smile deserves a seat at your table. Now that the circle has turned and your elevation is undeniable, they're coming back. But not out of respect, not out of genuine remorse. They're showing up because they're losing. Their schemes failed, their manipulations crumbled, and now they're desperate to slide back into your energy, hoping you'll forget, hoping you'll fold. But don't be fooled. This isn't about peace for them. It's about access. They want control, not reconciliation. They're looking for a way back in so they can siphon your energy, ride your wave, and reclaim the power they lost. They'll flatter you, feed you lies, try to convince you they've changed. But their agenda hasn't shifted. They're still operating from the same playbook. When the tables turn, the snakes come disguised as allies. This is where discernment becomes your sword. Don't move fast. Don't let their urgency rush your decisions. Pause. Reflect. Listen to that quiet voice inside, the one that's never steered you wrong. Not everything that looks genuine is sent by the universe. Some of these offers, some of these apologies, are just well-dressed traps. Stay sharp. Protect your position. You've come too far, grown too strong to let anyone drag you back into the pit you climbed out of. Discernment is your shield now. Number 9. A sacred rising. The tables have turned, and your time is now. The same mouths that lied on you will have no choice but to speak your name with respect. Chosen one, this is it. The moment everything shifts in your favor. The scales that felt so heavy for so long, they're tipping now. The lies they spread, the false stories they sold to anyone willing to listen, it's all crumbling. The narrative they built to break you, shattered. And not because you clapped back, not because you fought fire with fire, but because the universe is revealing what's real. Evidence is surfacing. Proof is coming to light. Receipts they never thought would see the day are showing up. Texts, calls, videos, confessions. Everything they tried to hide is spilling out, and the best part, you never had to lift a finger. The truth is speaking for you now, louder than any defense you could have made. The universe doesn't just settle scores, it makes sure the whole room sees the balance restored. Legal cases, spiritual battles, closed in your favor. Their lies aren't just being exposed, they're being dismantled piece by piece in front of the very audience they fooled. And here you are, standing tall, elevated in plain sight. Promotions, property, recognition, partnerships, everything delayed is being released. What they tried to block is rushing in like a flood, and there's nothing they can do to stop it. This isn't just about personal wins. This is about divine revelation. The universe is setting the record straight, not just for your peace, but so everyone who watched from the sidelines can see the truth. The same ones who laughed at your pain, who turned away when you were down, they'll witness your rise. But listen, this isn't about revenge. It never was. This is about revelation. The universe isn't lifting you just to prove them wrong. It's lifting you to prove what's right, to confirm that staying aligned, choosing love over vengeance, choosing growth over pettiness, that was the test. And Spirit says, you passed. Elevation isn't about getting even. It's about getting everything the universe already had written in your name. You could have retaliated. You had every reason to strike back, to throw hands, to burn bridges. But you didn't. You chose forgiveness. You chose peace. You chose to stay aligned with the force that's always been covering you. And now, the payout is here. Not just the physical blessings, but the clearing of your name, the restoration of your peace, the confirmation that you were chosen all along. This is a sacred rising. Your time is now. The tables have turned, and the ones who once celebrated your fall will watch as you rise higher than they ever imagined. But hold your head high, not out of pride, but out of gratitude. This isn't just a win. This is vindication. The universe has spoken. Your season is here. And so, as the dust settles and the truth stands tall, your rise is undeniable. The lies, the betrayal, the schemes, they all fell apart, while you remained unshaken. This is your moment, chosen one. The universe has made it clear. You were never defeated, only delayed. If this message resonated, if you feel that shift happening in your own life, like this video, subscribe for more truth like this, and drop the number 77 in the comments to claim your elevation. Share this with another chosen one who needs to hear that their time is coming too.